Hello everybody and welcome to another series of Magic the Gathering. I'm your host today, Dark Mazda for Dark Mazda Series Gaming, and today is the rotation day basically. So every set that you see on the screen now, Zendikar Rising, Kaldheim, Strixhaven School of Mages, Dungeons and Dragons, Adventures in the Forgotten Realms are now out of standard rotation, which means that they can now only be played in historic play modes and Brawl. So yeah, the sets that are still in rotation are the Innistrad Midnight Hunt, Innistrad Crimson Vow. There's also Kamigawa Neon Dynasty, and the Streets of New Capenna. I think there's another one. I can't remember which one it was, but I think I might have covered them all there just anyway. Oh yes, the new one, which is Dominaria United, of course. So only from those sets can you make new standard decks. So let's continue anyway and see what's happening. We have got a Renewal Gift as well at rotation, so we're going to open that. See what we get. So, Renewal Gifts. Sigarda's Splendor. Well, we've already got one of them. I'm not sure why we've got another one. Mirror Hall Mimic. We have got Gem Rewards. Doesn't say how many gems though. Probably 20. Workshop Warchief. Archivist of Ogma. Soul of Windgrace. I'm pretty sure that we got most of these. Is this the new set? Something from the new set? More? Let's have a look. Adakar Wastes, which I'm sure it is. Oh yeah, it's Painland. It's definitely one of the new cards, as well as this one, Keldon Flame Sage. We've got some more Adakar Wastes. The game must know that we like to play the Azorius colours. And we've got Ivy Gleeful Spell Thief, which is one of the new cards. So this is our Dominaria United Mastery. We'll take a quick look through here. These must be the orbs that you can collect. We are going to unlock the Mastery Pass, but there's a few things that I just want to do before... there's a couple of things that I want to do before we actually start opening packs and delving into what the set has to offer us. And this is what all new players and current players should be doing before they even consider opening any sort of packs. So if you look up here, you can see there's something that's called the Vault, which I have got 44.4% ready to go. Once that gets to 100%, you do get some uncommon, rare and mythic rare wildcards, which then you can use in order to fill your decks with the good beefy cards. But first of all, you should be spending your uncommon and your common wildcards on new set cards, so that if you start opening packs and you already have 4 of a common or an uncommon, then that would contribute towards your vault percentage completion, so that your duplicates actually work for you, and then you will receive better wildcards like the rares and the mythic rares. So this is what we're going to do now, and I'm just going to show you how to do that. So if we go over to let's see, I'm guessing it's going to be Dex. Is it Dex? No, it's not. It is Dex, isn't it? Yeah, and we just click on this plus here. We're not making anything really, so basically what we want to do is we want to go to this icon here, which is the advanced filters, not collected. We'll put and collected on as well, but we're only going to select the Dominaria United, and yeah, we're going to put commons and uncommons on, because we don't want to get rares and mythic rares until, you know, after we've opened up our you know, our packs. So we're just going to press OK on that and see what pops up, and everything's dulled out, and that's mainly because we haven't got anything yet. So yeah, so we're just checking to make sure that these are all the same symbols, and we're just going to go through these and buy 4 of each until we've got no common or uncommon wildcards left. So let's do that now. We'll click 4 of these, craft 4 of them. And that way, if we do get any of these, we will contribute percentage completion towards our vault. So, did we collect those? Yeah, we did collect those. Just doesn't look like it's... Ah, yeah, there we go. Yeah, so this is probably maybe going to take you a little time to do, depending on how many wildcards you've got. Even if you've only got a few, I still suggest doing it. That way, because you don't know what you're going to get in the packs. So if you do get duplicates, at least then you're going to make something towards the vault. So here we go. I'm also going to do a pack opening video as well, so that we can get familiar with some of the new cards. Maybe we should be reading these as we go through, but at the moment I don't think that we really need to. And this is just going to take a little bit of time, so, but as you can see, we're using up all of our wildcards. We might as well, because I mean, at the end of the day, they just sat there, they're doing nothing, and it'll save us some time and effort. And most of these probably won't even get used anyway, but it's just to fill up the collection. So I don't know about you guys, but I wasn't really too fond of the last set, which was basically a commander set. I don't know why they did that, because you know, they don't have a proper commander format on Arena. It would have been better if they did. I think a lot more people would respond to a commander format on the platform. But instead we get Brawl, which I believe, which was explained to me at one of my game nights, is that it's a dumbed down version of Commander where you only have to bring a 60 card deck. So yeah, I think the rules are pretty much similar, but you know, I think a lot of people would prefer to have more game modes in Arena. See, I remember that there was 4-player game modes on the console versions back years ago, and they were really good. I used to play with friends over the internet, and we used to have some pretty good matches. I mean, none of us knew how to really play that well, but yeah, it was always fun. And I think variety is the spice of life. So if you do have a lot of choice for game modes, it's better to actually have that choice. It would probably bring a lot of people. Oh, let's go back. Probably bring a lot of people over from Magic the Gathering Online into Arena. I mean, this is a bit of a cash cow. I've spent money on this game before. I don't see why other hardcore fans wouldn't. But if they offer more cards and more ways to play, then people, you know, I'm sure people would jump at the chance. Pretty sure if you did a modern format or pioneer format or whatever, some of the formats that are missing, you know, I'm guessing that would take off pretty well. But who am I to argue? Wizards must think that they're doing things the right way at the moment, so just let them crack on. It's not my money they're wasting. Well, it is my money they're wasting if I'm buying the content. But, you know, I'm just buying what I want to play. But I'm just saying, if there was more variety, I'd be more inclined to probably spend a little bit more money, you know. And maybe they should start doing codes in the set booster boxes as well. Encourage people to buy paper as well. paper magic that is. And then whatever decks that they buy in a shop, I mean, they get for the arena, for Magic Arena. It gives people, it just kind of doesn't block people out with a paywall. Basically, you know, you don't want to buy all the cards on Arena and then have to buy them in paper format as well. I mean, that just makes it a doubly expensive hobby, which people probably don't even want. So now that we've spent all of our uncommon wild cards, we'll set away the uncommons because we don't want them to show up, and we will just continue until all of our... Oh, we've already got that. We'll continue until all of our wild cards are spent. So we were down to here. Oh, look at this. Sure up. And we're just buying we're buying play sets of them all. Oh, no. Well, I'm seeing some blue cards that I'm liking at the moment. Counter target creature spell being one of them. I love my control decks. A lot of people hate control players. But, hey, you know, do whatever I can to annoy people that I'm playing against. Obviously, in the funnest way possible. Let's have a look. Oh, so we're almost getting through all of our wild cards here. Oh, negate. They've got another negate. That's good. Now there should be a code as well in order to get an extra 3 packs, which I will dig out for you guys, so that you know what that is as well. And we'll take a look at these cards once we've spent all the wild cards, just to see what we have actually unlocked, and just take a little bit more of a look at the cards, see what the synergies do, what we can possibly combo it with, and see if we can just have a quick idea of what we can put into which decks. Oh, that looks alright as well. We've also got 92,000 gold to spend as well, so, you know, that's another 92 packs in my eyes, so, yay. We've got a lot of packs to open up, but I think that's going to be for another video, and we'll see what happens. Let's take a look at those. Well, we got further than what I thought we were getting. Onto the black colour. If we can get into the reds a little bit, that'd be cool. But I don't think we're going to manage it. We've only got 18 wild cards left. There'll be 14 after this. Right, next. See, we're not going to make it to the reds. We can only get 2 of those. Right. So that's that for now. So let's go back and see what we've got. All of these new cards here. So Artillery Blast deals X damage to target top creature, where X is 1 plus the number of basic land types among lands you control. So that's going to go good into a multicolored deck. So if you've got a 3 mana kind of colored deck, that would be pretty cool for. Domain. What does Domain do? Does it tell us? Right, Vigilance and Enlist. As this creature attacks, you may tap a non-attacking creature without summoning sickness. When you do, add its power to this creature's until end of the turn. Oh, that's pretty cool. Sweet. Benalish Sleeper. We've got a Phyrexian Human Soldier and a kicker for... we can kick it for black mana. When Benalish Sleeper enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, each player sacrifices a creature. Right. Destroy Evil. Choose one. Destroy target creature with toughness 4 or greater, or destroy target enchantment. Oh, that's pretty sweet. Juniper Order Root Weaver. When Juniper Order Root Weaver enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. So the kick was for the green, so that's probably going to go into a Selesnya deck. A Citizen's Arrest. When Citizen's Arrest enters the battlefield, exile target creature or planeswalker opponent controls until Citizen's Arrest leaves the battlefield. Essence Scatter. Counter target creature spell. They're the ones that I like. Haunting Figment. Vigilance. Haunting Figment can't be blocked as long as you've cast an instant or sorcery spell this turn. Impede Momentum. Tap target creature and put 3 stun counters on it. And a stun counter is, if a permanent with a stun counter will become untapped, remove 1 from it instead. And then we can scry. Everybody's familiar with scry. Impulse. Look at the top 4 cards of your library, put 1 of them into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. Negate. I like these ones as well. Counter target non-creature spell. So that's for your instances and your sorceries. You can just counter-attack those. Volsci Tide Turner. Merfolk Wizard. Tap and add island. Spend this mana only to cast an instant or a sorcery spell or a kicked spell. Academy Wall. It's a defender. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, you may draw a card. If you do, discard a card. This ability triggers only once each turn. Phyrexian Espionage. So for a kicker, 1 and a black, draw 2 cards. If this spell was kicked, each opponent discards a card. Sorin Drake, Flying, 2/3. Tellurian Geyser. For a kicker with white, so this would be for a good Azorius deck, I would have thought. Return target creature to its owner's hand. Draw a card. If this spell was kicked, you gain 3 life. Vorda Sea Scavenger. Domain. When Vorda Sea Scavenger enters the battlefield, look at the top X cards of your library, where X is the number of basic land types among lands you control. You may put 1 of those cards on top of your library, put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Talus Lookout. When Talus Lookout dies, look at the top 2 cards of your library, put 1 of them into your hand and the other into your graveyard. Tidepool Turtle. For 3 mana, 1 of them being an island, we can scry. Tellurian Terror. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each instant and sorcery card in your graveyard. Wow, that's pretty cool. And it's got Ward 2. A Battlefly Swarm. It's a Phyrexian insect. Battlefly Swarm gains Death Touch until the end of the turn. Bone Splinters. As a sorcery, as an additional cost to cast this spell, sacrifice a creature and destroy target creature. Urborg Repossession. Kicker for 1 and a green. Return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. You gain 2 life. If this spell was kicked, return another target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. Sounds nice. Battle Rage Blessing. Target creature gains Death Touch and Indestructible until the end of the turn. So that would be pretty cool if you're up against some sort of green deck which does the what you call that spell where it gains 1/1 and fights your opponent. a creature, you could then cast this and you gain Death Touch and Indestructible, so you end up winning that exchange. Phyrexian Vivisector, or Vivisector, however you want to pronounce it. It's a Phyrexian human. Whenever a creature you control dies, scry 1. Splatter Goblin, Phyrexian Goblin. When Splatter Goblin dies, target creature an opponent controls gets -1/-1 until the end of the turn. Tribute to Urborg, and it's an instant. Kicker for 1 and an island. Target creature gets -2/-2 until end of turn. If it was kicked, that creature gets an additional -1/-1 until end of turn for each instant and sorcery card in your graveyard. So that can end up being a pretty decent removal. Aggressive Sabotage. Kicker is a mountain. Target player discards 2 cards. If it was kicked, it deals 3 damage to that player as well. And we've also got Eerie Soul Tender. When Eerie Soul Tender enters the battlefield, mill 3 cards, and for 4 and a swamp, exile Eerie Soul Tender from your graveyard. Return another target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. That's a good way to fetch something back which is in your graveyard. And we've got 2 Gibbering Barricades. It's a defender, it's a Nightmare Wall. Sacrifice a creature, you gain 1 life and draw a card. Clockwork Drawbridge. Tap target creature, some defense there. Samite Herbalist. We've got a Human Cleric. Whenever Samite Herbalist becomes tapped, you gain 1 life and scry 1. Take up the Shield. Put a 1/1 counter on target creature. It gains lifelink and indestructible until the end of the turn. What else have we got? Argivian Cavalier. Enlist. When Argivian Cavalier enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 white soldier creature token. Charismatic Vanguard. Creatures you control get +1/+1 until the end of the turn for 4 and a planes. And we've also got Mesa Cavalier. It's flying. When Mesa Cavalier enters the battlefield, you'll gain 2 life. And Stall for Time. 1 and a blue is the kicker. Tap up to 2 target creatures. If this spell was kicked, put a stun counter on each of those creatures and then draw a card. Captain's Call. Create 3 1/1 white soldier creature tokens. That's pretty sweet. Griffin Protector. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, Griffin Protector gets +1/+1 until the end of the turn. Heroic Charge. And we've got another kicker for 1 and a mountain. Creatures you control get +2/+1 until the end of the turn. If this spell was kicked, those creatures also gain trample until the end of the turn. A lot of these have got a lot of kicker abilities on them, which is going to change the format quite a bit. So that's I'm gonna enjoy seeing how these games play out. I'm sure it's going to be annoying as hell though. Argivian Phalanx. Human Core Soldier. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature you control, and it's got Vigilance. It's a 4/4 as well. So Pixie Illusionist for 3 and a forest has got a kicker cost. If Pixie Illusionist was kicked, enters the battlefield with 2 1/1 counters on it, so it's potentially a 3/3. And if we tap it, target land you control becomes the basic land type of your choice until the end of turn. Sounds nifty. And then we're coming to the end of our cards here. Shore Up, which is an instant. Target creature you control gets +1/+1 and gains hexproof until the end of the turn, and we can untap it. Timely Interference. For a kicker of 1 and a mountain, target creature gets -1/-0 until end of turn. This spell was kicked, that creature blocks this turn if able. Draw a card. And Toxic Abomination. Phyrexian Zombie. When Toxic Abomination enters the battlefield, you lose 2 life. Let's take a look at the uncommons that we unlocked. And it's these ones here. So we got Coalition Sky Knight. Flying and Enlist. As this creature attacks, you may tap a non-attacking creature you control without summoning sickness and add its power to this creature's until the end of the turn. Prayer of Binding. It's got flash on it. so you can cast it whenever you could cast an instant. When Prayer of Binding enters the battlefield, exile up to one target non-land permanent an opponent controls until Prayer of Binding leaves the battlefield. You gain 2 life. Wingmantle Chaplain, it's a human cleric and a defender. When the chaplain enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 white bird creature token with flying for each creature with defender you control. Whenever another creature with defender enters the battlefield under your control, create a 1/1 white bird creature token with flying. Shallai's Acolyte, and for a kicker, 1 and a forest. It's got flying. If Shallai's Acolyte was kicked, it enters the battlefield with 2/1/1 counters on it, so that can potentially be a 5/6 creature, so that's pretty sweet. Combat Research, enchant creature. Enchanted creature has, whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. As long as enchanted creature is legendary, it gets +1/+1 and has ward 1. Runic Shot, kicker for a island, destroy target tapped creature. This was kicked, scry 2. Knight of Dawn's Light, first strike, if you will gain life, you gain that much life +1 instead. And for 1 and a plains, Knight of Dawn's Light gets +1/+1 until the end of the turn. Phyrexian Missionary. So for a kicker, 1 and a swamp, it's got lifelink. When the missionary enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Resolute Reinforcements, it's got flash. When Resolute Reinforcement enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 white soldier creature token. Cleaving Skyrider, and it's flash, and it's got a kicker cost for 2 and a mountain. It's got flying, and when the Skyrider enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, it deals X damage to any target, where X is the number of attacking creatures. Join Forces, untap up to 2 target creatures. They each get +2/+2 until end of the turn. And then we have got our Saga, which is Love Song of Night and Day. And it's got the read ahead ability, which means that we can choose a chapter and start with that many lore counters. Add 1 after your draw step. Skip chapters, don't trigger. Sacrifice after the 3rd. You and target opponent each draw 2 cards for step 1. For chapter 2, it's create a 1/1 white bird creature token with flying. And for chapter 3, it's put a 1/1 counter on each of up to 2 target creatures. And that is all of the cards that we've managed to purchase with our common and uncommon cards. So we're just going to quickly go back to the home page, and I'm going to quickly take a look and see if I can find the code to get the free cards through 3 packs of cards. So just give me a moment there, guys, and I'll be right back. Okay, so we're back. We're going to go to the store, and we are going to also get the play code for 3 packs of the new Dominaria set. And this code which you need to type in is play DMU, Dominaria United. Case sensitive, and redeem code successful. And we've got 3 more packs of Dominaria United there. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go to the deals. I'm going to see what's what here. Some new sleeves. We're not going to bother with those for now. So let's take a look. We've got packs. So we now have, because I got the one of the bundles where you get 50 packs and also you get 5 mythic packs as well, plus the 3 that we've redeemed the code for. So yeah, what I'm going to do now then is I'm going to go to the store and I'm going to purchase some packs with the gold. Where are we at? And we're going to get 90 packs. And what we get here is a card. Is this a card style? For the Elf Druid. Oh yeah, so that's this. Add 1 mana of any colour. Target land you control becomes a 3/3 elemental creature. So we'll claim that. And then there's another 2,000. We may as well just... we'll buy another mythic pack. And we'll buy another standard pack. So in total, we have got 150 packs to open. 144 standard packs and 6 Dominaria United mythic packs as well. So we're going to go home. And that is going to be the end for this video. I hope new players and old players alike have just remembered that you do need to use your commons and uncommons, and we were going to open up the packs in the next episode in order to complete a little bit more of our collection. We have got a vault of 44.4%, so I'll be imploring you to keep an eye on that as we open packs and see what we get. Thank you very much. I hope this has helped you you know, manage how you go about collecting your cards for the new sets. Thank you if you've made it to the end of the video. I'm going to be doing more Magic the Gathering videos as I keep going. It's not going to be as regular. It's maybe going to be every 3 or 4 days. I'll put another video out there. I tend to find that my Magic the Gathering videos do a lot better than any of my other videos, so I'll be going to be focusing on that a little bit, see how we get on, and just record some gameplay, see where it takes us, showcase a few different decks here and there. If you have liked the content, give me a like and a sub, and until next time guys, that's it from me, and I will see you on the flip side.